Bats, black cats, ghosts, and even death itself haunt the hide-and-freak mansion, and the blood-written messages on its walls say the devil wears nylon. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm talking about Blackmilk's new Halloween collection. I created this look based on my favorite piece from the collection, the hide-and-freak midi skirt. So if you want to see how I did this, hold on to your witch's hats and stay tuned. I started out by blocking out my eyebrows. You can see how I do that here or here. Then I went in with the Dermalogical Phytoreplenish Oil to take away some of that powder texture. I used a bit of the salmon color from the Makeup Forever Flash palette to conceal my eyebrows. I didn't think that was enough coverage, so I went in with a rosy corrector from the NYX Conceal and Correct palette. To lock that in, I went in with another layer of prosthetic adhesive. I totally forgot to powder the concealer before applying the prosthetic adhesive, so I went in and did that on the second eyebrow. It makes the adhesive stick on much better. Then another layer of concealer and another layer of powder. I really pressed down with a powder puff because you want to flatten down your eyebrows as much as possible and wipe away the excess with a fluffy brush. I wanted to make sure it was all locked in place, so I went in with a Ben Nye Final Seal Spray. Now with a normal cosmetic sponge, you want to pick at it to create texture. You can always use one of those orange sponges that have the texture in them, but I like doing this better because I usually don't have those orange sponges lying around and I have a bunch of these. This way you can also customize the texture. You can make bigger holes or smaller holes. You just want to make sure that all the edges are picked at. You don't want any straight edges. With the dark blue from the Flash palette, I'm starting the outer perimeter of my face. I'm kind of contouring with these clouds, so I'm going around my temples and forehead and my cheekbones. Pro tip, you can practically turn anything into contour. With a lighter blue, I create a sort of gradient more towards the inside of my face. I'm always dabbing with a sponge. You don't want to drag it, because otherwise you won't get the texture that you created from it. Now with the NYX Invincible Foundation, on my Furless Cosmetics brush, I'm going in and applying it to the center of my face. I could have done this before, but I kind of wanted to see what parts would be exposed of normal skin. Then go and pick at another sponge for the lighter colors. Now I'm going in with the NYX SFX Cream Paint in white. I'm using it even further in the center of my face, but I'm also dabbing it on top of the other blues to create texture and layers. Now with the white from the Flash palette, I'm going over that previous white just because it's a little bit more pigmented so I can add more texture to it. Now I'm taking the white on my Furless Cosmetics concealer brush to start creating the round shapes of the clouds. So first I created all the texture with a sponge, and now I'm shaping that texture into clouds. You'll want to use the brush tapping it as well. You don't want to drag the color because that way you can create even more texture. This look is all about the texture. Now I'm taking the dark blue and doing the same thing, creating the round little shapes that the clouds have. And I'm doing it with a lighter blue too. Now with some gray Snazaroo face paint, I'm starting to map in the moon. I'm going back in with that peach color and applying it where the clouds end and the sky starts. Then I'm taking the NYX Lavender Corrector and making some more cloud shapes. I'm kind of using this color to fade the clouds into the sky. And doing the same with a rosy tone corrector. Creating a nighttime kind of sunset sky takes a lot of colors and a lot of layering. Now with a white Mare Paradise paint, I'm going to highlight the moon. I'm starting with the outline and blending it in towards the center. Then I'm taking the NYX SFX cream color in black on the sponge and creating texture on the moon. Then with a small brush, I'm defining the texture into rounded shapes. Again, you want to keep tapping with your brush to create texture. You don't want to drag it along. Then I'm doing the same with a white, creating little highlights all across the moon. I was looking at several reference pictures of the moon, and I kind of decided what shapes I wanted to go along with. I also decided I wanted to darken up the shadows to create more contrast. With the Sephora eyeshadow in Sailor's Kiss, I'm starting to outline my eye socket. Then I'm blending it out with Sugar Pill's Mochi from the Heartbreaker palette. And further blending that out with the light blue from the NYX Ultimate Brights eyeshadow palette. I'm also going in with Sugar Pill's Velocity over the Sailor's Kiss to make it a bit more blue. Sailor's Kiss is a really dark color. There's a lot of blending and a lot of transition colors in this, so now I'm going in with a Morphe Breakfast at Tiffaneez to blend everything out. Then I'm applying it with my finger where I want the most coverage and blending it out with a brush. I'm applying NYX's Jet Black Gel Liner all over my lids and under my eyes as a base. Then I'm setting it with Saucebox Cosmetics Black Widow. It is a really black eyeshadow. Then I'm going back with Sailor's Kiss to blend the two together. I'm using my Tokidoki fluffy brush to really blend the colors out. Now for the lips, I've got a little concoction. I'm creating the outline with NYX's Soft Matte Lip Cream in Moskow. I'm blotting off the excess and applying NYX's Liquid Suede lipstick in Alien on the center of my lips. Then I'm applying NYX's Liquid Suede in Little Denim Dress on the outer edges. Then using NYX's Matte Black Liquid Liner, I'm drawing in the bats, keeping an image of the skirt open at all times so that I can reference it, and I'm trying to make the bats as close as possible to the ones on the skirt. I'm cleaning off the excess black shadow with a Q-tip to prepare for the liner. I'm lining my eyes with NYX's Vivid Halo Liner. I'm going heavy-handed with this and applying multiple layers to make sure that it's really bright. Now I'm applying black Snazaroo face paint all over my neck with a Crown C505 brush. Then back with the rosy concealer to create cloud textures where there's plain skin. And shading that with a peach from the Flash palette. Then I'm doing the same with a purple concealer, but concentrating it in the center of my face. With the black Snazaroo face paint on a small brush, I'm going to draw in the branches. I'm trying to make the shapes as organic as possible, but I'm following the shape of my face so that it's flattering. You'll want to vary the thickness and length of each branch to make it look natural and organic. I'm stopping them below the cheekbones with a few little exceptions so that they don't mask the contouring that I did with the clouds. I also decided to lengthen the flick of my eyeliner. Go big or go home. Unfortunately, I lost some footage, but I painted the clouds on my neck as well, and then painted the tree trunks over the clouds. With that same yellow eyeliner, I'm drawing in the shapes of the teeth. I'm just doing very basic lines where the teeth would be. It just makes for a really great contrast over the dark lipstick. Then with a black liquid liner, I'm creating the shape of the skull's cheekbones. It's hard to get them completely symmetrical, so if you mess up, just clean it with a Q-tip and redo it. Then I drew in some more teeth to fill in the black outline. With the black face paint, I started making the slits of my nose. Then I applied the Sailor's Kiss eyeshadow to the tip of my nose and smoked it out. I helped to blend it out with some concealer on my finger too. Then I lined my waterline with NYX's Jumbo Pencil in Pure Gold. I also applied it under my lash line as a base for the shadow that I was going to apply next. I went in with a Tokidoki eyeshadow and Lion Papa right under my lower lashes. I blended it out into the black. Now for some detailing, I went in with the NYX white liquid liner. I highlighted the skull's cheekbones, the moon, and the clouds. To break up the super crisp lines, I went in and patted them with my fingers. Remember, this is all about texture. Highlighting the clouds really adds to the effect. I applied plenty of the NYX XXL mascara on both bottom and top lashes, and applied the NYX Wicked Lashes in Drama Queen to my top lashes. The lashes obviously covered up some of my liner, so I made it even thicker. Then, as a kind of happy mistake, while I was applying my eyeliner, it got onto my lashes, but I liked the way it looked, so I actually went and applied liner onto the tips of my lashes. Then on goes the wig, and I added some of NYX's SFX cream paint in blue to the outer edges to meet my new hairline. I decided to intensify some of the colors, like the coral around my jawline. I also applied it to the edge of the clouds on my cheeks and behind the moon. Using the lighter blue from the Flash palette, I shaded under the skull's cheekbones. Then I darkened it with a dark blue, and darkened it even further and helped blend it out with the Sailor's Kiss eyeshadow on a fluffy brush. And that's the final look. If you liked it and want to see more Halloween videos, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!